Good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. Today it's Lamentations week, so we couldn't get at least one of the guys, well, two of the guys, as it turned out, back from the previous campaign adventure. So that will be put off for 2 weeks, and we're doing a bit of a one-shot here today with the three players that I have. So we're going to play Tales of the Scarecrow. So real quick, I'll just go by you guys each one at a time. Just tell us who your main character is, and then you can tell us who the hireling is that each of you have, because I've had each of these guys bring a hireling with their main character, just in case, if a character dies early, they don't have to get sitting on the sidelines for 2 hours. So, Andrew, if you want to go ahead and go first.
Sure, I'm Andrew Knapp, SRT Joker on YouTube. I am playing Father Jasper, or Friar Jasper rather, a jolly friar who drinks and preaches. And my hireling is Dukes Wolfgore. Yeah, manly. Psychotic fighter who wants to find God. We'll see if he does.
So what's his role as a hireling? Pretty much like a Sherpa? Pretty much he carries your stuff around and...
It's more complicated than that. He's following around Friar Jasper basically to study what a learned man of God actually does. So he's more of like I'd say maybe a quartermaster, but he's more of an observer than anything else.
Sounds cool. Okay, Dave, go ahead and tell us who your two characters are.
Main character is Adam Thatcher, specialist. His assistant is Brother Paul, a cleric and former member of the Spanish Inquisition, now sent by the Vatican on a secret mission which he's discussed with Adam Thatcher. So he's assisting Adam Thatcher on this particular adventure to find information on a particular lost relic, in return for Adam Thatcher assisting Brother Paul in his pursuit of said item in the future.
Excellent. Very good. And Troy, go ahead and tell us about the two characters you brought.
Sure. My first character's name is Mistress Pearl Appleton, and she was a privateer for the Empire's Navy. There was a mutiny, and she was left ashore. Now she's trying to get around the countryside to eke out an existence. She's also a specialist, which is a bit of a scoundrel with her skill set. And has her hireling is Gussie Sams, and he's a big, large idiot of a man. He was the only one that went with her when she was kicked out of power off the ship that she once controlled. So he's pretty much just her pack mule and cannon fodder for if she comes up against anything, basically.
Excellent. Very good. So the six of you, anyway, are traveling across the English countryside, somewhere around the Midlands, we'll say, somewhere in the middle of the country. And you have come across, on the side of the road as you're traveling south, off to the right, the eastern side of the road, you can see this relatively large cornfield. And sitting in the middle of it, there is a farmhouse, which looks from this distance to be abandoned. You may be able to see a scarecrow out kind of in the middle of the cornfield. There is a path which leads up to the farmhouse on this there's a little road that kind of intersects off of the main road, and it quickly turns into this path which then leads right up to the farmhouse. We'll say it's kind of like later afternoon. The weather is looking like it's going to get a little wet pretty soon. There's always gray clouds in the sky over England, I suppose, but it's looking pretty heavy, and it seems like it may rain this evening. As you're walking along and you look up towards the this, like I said, kind of apparently abandoned cornfield, you may get the hint of some kind of a sound almost coming from inside the house at first. Not quite sure, almost like a rustling, or you wouldn't hear much of a rustle from this distance, but you hear something loud, kind of thud inside the farmhouse, as if something fell down or there's something banged up against a wall or the door itself.
How far is the Scarecrow from the house?
About 50 yards, 150 feet north of the house. The cornfield itself looks to be probably about 150 yards in diameter. It is a strange circular shape as well, which is kind of odd. But yeah, the cornfield is in like a perfect circle around the farmhouse at the center.
I say, Father, sir, seems like the storm's coming. I suggest we find somewhere to bed down and stay dry for the night. And I offer Friar a little wink.
He's drinking from a gourd on a cart that's being pulled by an ox, and he laughs back at you. Why, I don't want to get my godly vestments wet. Perhaps we should squat in that cabin over yonder.
I agree. What say you? What say you, Mr. Thatcher?
Yes, it seems like a good idea. Let's do that. Get out of this rain before it starts.
Come on now, Gussie. Bring my stuff along. We must hurry on before the rain starts.
Gussie, you're blessed. It is blessed to be simple. You are a simple soul. And I just watch him as he's meandering around like a fool.
He's a rather large fool, though, isn't he?
He is. I have him on a leash. So I'm like kind of tugging him behind, literally like a mule.
Oh my goodness.
The ox is being treated better than your servant.
Basically. So I'm tugging on his rope, trying to scurry him forth towards the shack.
Okay. So you guys want to walk up the path? The corn itself is pretty thick. It's very green. It's
Not ripe.
No, not quite. It's not quite ready for harvest yet. It's very, very thick, very green.
Pearl wouldn't know that. She's completely oblivious to these common folks and their farming. She's quite uncomfortable. So yeah, she wants to get out of the smell of this manures and all the other different smells that's alien to her.
Okay. So as you guys kind of approach the farmhouse, it's pretty small. It's only a single story, very simple. Sorry, I just want to see here for the layout. It's not terribly large at all. I'd say it's probably maybe about 75 feet at its widest. You know what I mean? Its widest point, and maybe about half of that in depth. Maybe 75 by 40 feet, say.
Does it have windows?
Yep, there are windows.
Are they open?
You can see the door ahead of you. There's a window on the right and a window on the left. They're not open, no.
Okay. What about if we walk around the farmhouse just to have a look around it?
Okay. In the clearing around the farmhouse, or out into the actual corn itself, into the cornfield itself?
No, I'm going to be as close as I can to the building, also
Yeah.
listening for any more noises within.
Sure.
Just the clearing, yeah.
You stay out front there, Gussie. Mind the door, will you?
Gus would be a good lad and come back here to the wagon with me.
Listen to the friar, Gussie.
Okay. So who's
Mind
walking around the house?
I'll circumvent the opposite way that Mr. Thatcher does.
Okay.
Meet in the
So
middle.
with that, you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise?
I'll go anti-clockwise.
Counterclockwise. Okay, so you're kind of going around the northeast, and Miss Appleton will be heading to the southwest, kind of going around the farmhouse. So, as you're walking around, you'll see at first, Thatcher, you'll come to the back of the house, and there are 4 horses lying dead and rotten behind the house. All 4 of them are still bridled, and what was that?
That was me vomiting.
Okay. All 4 of them are still bridled and saddled with saddlebags, and just laying there dead in the clearing right kind of pretty close to the farmhouse itself.
I said this is most peculiar. Did it seem to have? Am I getting around there to see this now as well?
Yeah, you'll be coming around. You won't be too far behind. It's just that you had to go the longer way around.
Yeah, you see me pull this fancy handkerchief type thing out and hold it up to my mouth. I dare say, Thatcher, how long have these things been dead?
A long time by the look of it. They're rotten.
Yeah, you'd say probably at least a week.
About a week by the look of it. Is there anything in the bags? They've still got the bags on them, haven't they?
Yep, they do.
Maybe have a cautious look.
Open the mouth
mostly
there. Have a look
empty.
at their tongue.
Most of them are empty, but one of them has a scroll case, and it has a receipt of sale for a sword and 2 books. It doesn't give any more, specifications of that. It just says 1 sword and 2 books to the amount of 50,000 silver pieces.
What?
Wow.
Big spenders. Who would pay such a thing for books?
Got a very important book.
I guess so. They're not. They don't happen to be there, do they? Just a note of sale, not the actual products.
Well, the products themselves are not there.
Any wounds upon the horses? I mean, I got the handkerchief above my face. I'm not really touching
That's
these
what you
things.
can see from looking at them here as they lay there. Do you want to try to do any more in-depth investigation?
No, I'm just walking around them in a circle, just looking upon their body to see if there's any wounds. But if I don't see anything, no, I'm not going to touch these foul disease things.
You can't really see any wounds, although do you have any experience with animals?
Not really horses so much, but I mean, I've seen horses. I wouldn't call myself a horseman.
Well, you might know from your time at sea. They look like they've been extremely dehydrated.
Look at these things. They look emancipated.
You used to
Most
say
peculiar indeed. That's not the right word. They're free from slavery.
Are they tied? Are they?
No.
They're not tied to anything.
Nope. They're bridled with the saddlebags attached, but they are not like tied off or anything like that.
Oh, okay. It's strange they didn't run away.
I'm done with this. Did you see a window on your way around here, Thatcher?
Actually, as you're investigating Thatcher, as you're trying to look to see if they're tied or why they haven't run away or anything of that sort, you can see actually it looks like there's dragging impressions on the earth in the clearing. Like they were kind of pulled a little bit closer to the farmhouse out of the cornfield. But the cornfield itself looks perfectly fresh and lush and green. You can't see any signs that the horses were ever actually in the cornfield.
So the horses have actually been dragged.
They look like they've been kind of pulled up a bit closer to the house, but yeah, you can't see any signs. There's no disturbance in the cornfield where they look to have been dragged from. Do you know what I mean? Like you can imagine dragging a dead horse through a cornfield. You would imagine it would knock down a bunch of the stalks, but it looks perfectly 100% fresh and natural, undisturbed.
It would have taken a few people to drag horses, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably at least a couple anyway.
More than a couple if it was a dead horse.
Take one of my Gussie. You see that, lad?
Okay. So, are there any windows around the back of the?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
there's a few windows there looking into the farmhouse.
Dead horses are not going to make my purse bag heavier. Now, these books on the other hand, this is
There's
intriguing
one
to
in the
me.
center, and there's one on the left, one on the right side of the back wall here. You noticed as you walked around the kind of the southwest side, Yeah, I keep forgetting Pearl. There was 2 windows on the. We'll just call it the west side anyway for now of the farmhouse. And on the east side of the farmhouse, which you walked around, Adam, there were no windows, but there is a chimney, from where the fireplace must be inside the farmhouse.
Be a dear now, Thatcher. Boost me up here so I can have a look.
I'll give
You
him.
just go up and look in the window?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one foot out as if I was ready to be helped up into a horse type,
You probably
situation.
don't need to be lifted too much to see. Which window are you looking in?
The furthest one to either side, and I'm gonna work my way over. So let's say the furthest one to the right.
Furthest one to the right as you're looking at the house, so that's the side you came around.
Sure.
Okay. You're looking into a small bedroom. There is basically there's a bed frame with a strong mattress there right beneath the window. You're like looking down on it, and you can see the badly decomposed corpse of a man in the bed, like just lying there with the blanket kind of pulled up, his arms resting on top of it.
There's a man in there for the long sleep, Thatcher. Lay dead in his bed. Been dead for some time. I'd rather not go in this window. Let's find another. I'm going to move over to the next.
So the next one, and you look in. The first thing you see right in front of that window, the next window, you're looking into like the large, kind of like the living room, I suppose you'd call it, the main room of the farmhouse, and you're looking at a really exquisite harpsichord.
More promising here, Thatcher.
Okay. What can you see?
It's the main room of the house, I think. There's a big fancy harpsichord in there. Something of might be an entry point here. Let me just check the window. I'm going to attempt to see if we can open it.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You can open it up, indeed. You can also see, as you're looking in there, there's a large table with kind of bench seats in the corner of the room closer to the fireplace. And as you're kind of climbing in, you realize that there's a man kind of kneeling down off to the right of the harpsichord, well, it'll be to your left as you're coming in through the window. There's a man kneeling down there just staring off into space. He doesn't look at you, he doesn't say anything. He looks very unhealthy, quite emaciated himself.
Is the music box, the harpsichord thing, making any sounds at this time?
The harpsichord is not making any sounds, no.
So it's quiet. It's like there's someone in here, Thatcher. He doesn't seem to be doing much. He's not looking too healthy.
That is alive.
Yeah, he seems to be alive, or
on the table, you can see 2 books resting on the table, and you also see a sword laying on the table.
Cool. As I go through the window, I start making some motions towards the man that's staring off in space. I say, you! Listen here now. Don't move. And I continue into the window, into the room.
He's mumbling something you can't quite make out in a really raspy voice.
I pull out my rapier.
Oh, shout! Can you see the door? Can you see the door?
Can I see the door?
The door's right across from the window you just came in.
The main door?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
you've got
just
the harpsichord between you and it, but yeah, you know.
It's just over the way there. Come on in, Thatcher.
Okay.
You can grab the windowsill and climb in. The man doesn't seem to be doing anything. I'm not entirely sure he's sane.
I'll climb up. Yeah, I'll climb up into the room.
Oi, hey you over there. Look this way now. Keep your hands in front of you. And I got the rapier stuck out, in a defensive position as I slowly walk towards the man in the kneeling position.
I'll check the books.
He's mumbling, "Food, water."
Food, water. This is your house. Why don't you help yourself to your food and water, sir? Sitting there mumbling like a fool. What's going on? Why are you in such a predicament? Why are you sitting there wasting away?
Well, you're still outside the house, Friar, with all the hirelings, I presume.
Yeah, I want to go over and inspect that Scarecrow with Gussie, because I see he's got his eye on it.
As you start to go that way, first thing you do is you see there is a water pump out here that catches your eye.
People here worked hard to make a home for themselves. Good for them. Very Christian.
It's on like the kind of northeast corner of the farmhouse, just outside here in the clearing, and then the Scarecrow is almost due north of there. So you're gonna walk out into the cornfield and start making your way towards the Scarecrow?
Yeah. I'll turn to the back of the cart. You see a really large, bum-looking man with a partisan slung over his shoulder like a hobo, with a bag on the end of it, snoring. And I say, "Guard the cart, Wolfgo. I'm going to take the boy to go look at the Scarecrow. He's got his heart set on it."
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. He kind of wakes up, I suppose, a bit, yeah?
Yeah, he's probably drunk as all piss. But he likes my mead. That's another reason he follows me.
Very
I'll
good.
jump out of the cart and say, "Come on, boy, let's go. I see what you want."
Gussie don't take any steps. He looks down at the rope dangling from his neck, waiting for you to grab the other end of it.
I like a good shepherd. I will lead the flock, and I'll pick up the rope.
The mistress told me to stay close to you, sir.
That's right, Gussie. We're gonna go over there to look at the Scarecrow because I see you looking at it, and I know it fascinates you. Fascinates you, doesn't it? And I'll poke him in the stomach.
Just as you're walking past the water pump, and before you set foot into the cornfield, you can hear a sound up from over your right shoulder, and you look over at the path that you just walked up. And very rapidly, within seconds, corn grows up in the cleared path and fills it up completely. And it's perfectly matching lush green corn, filling the entire pathway, closing off the path back to the road. Quite unnatural.
I look at it and just strain my eyes, and then I look down at my gourd and see that it's empty, and I look back at it again and really squint, trying to think if I saw what I saw or if I'm just too drunk. What? Hey y'all in there? Can you hear me? You guys, you in the cabin?
Yeah.
I'll smack it a couple times. Bong, bong, bong.
I'll go and open the door. I can get to the door inside, can't I?
Yeah, you can. You were just about to pick up those books and look.
Yeah.
One of them especially really caught your eye because it struck a chord with you as soon as you laid eyes on it. And you were about to take a closer look at it when he starts calling from outside, so you go and open the door.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still standing over the top of this man, questioning him, asking him why he's unable to move.
There's no food.
There's no food? You have a field full of corn after you fool.
Don't eat the corn.
Why grow it then?
Is that a warning? Sounds like a warning. Don't eat the corn.
Do you have any food? Water?
Yeah, I've got standard rations.
I got something for you. 1 second. I reach in my pocket, and before I give it to him, I backhand him with the other hand.
Okay. Are you aiming to do damage, or are you just trying to...
No, I'm just going to snap him out of whatever this comatose state that he's in.
He lays down on the ground, too weak to resist, and just kind of wheezes in pain.
Let's give him some food.
I roll him over and I stick some dry rations in his mouth. I'm kind of like looming over him in a like quasi-seductive way, kind of like mounted on him
He's
with a
trying,
rapier point to his nose.
he's trying to chew them, but he's just spitting them out. He's like, water.
Give him some water. Give him some water. I got some water. Give him some water.
Go ahead, Thatcher. Give the poor lad some water. We'll get some answers from this fool.
Yeah. I'll give him some water.
It's been 5 days.
5 days since what?
Water.
Yeah, I'll drink this.
And so he starts drinking the water quite greedily, in fact.
Show him the paper of purchase there, Thatcher. Maybe he can give us some answers about these items here.
After he finishes, like, chugging a bunch of the water down, a bunch of it running down his his bearded face. He hasn't had a shave in a long time. Obviously, it's not a neatly kept beard. It's not a deliberate beard at all. And then he starts to pick up some of the dry rations off the floor and stuff them in his face and chew them and try to wash them down with some more water. He's eating and drinking like a man who's been deprived of food and water for a long time.
So what happens to you?
He just continues eating and drinking and says nothing at the moment.
You hear another loud bang. Bang, bang, bang! I said, you boys in there?
Fryer, come on in here. We got this fool. Maybe you could help him.
We have
some,
bigger problems out here, Pearl. You better come out and take a look at this.
You haven't hurt my boy Gussie, have you?
I look at him, he's playing with a couple acorns I gave him. No, your fool's fine. He's enjoying himself. Come on out.
What do you think, Thatcher? I don't trust leaving this fool alone here. You want to stick around and I'll go see what the friar wants?
Yeah, I'll stay here because I want to check these books out and see what these books are about.
Okay, you probably go right to the one that really stood out to you.
Yeah.
As you look at it, you see the name. It's this massive tome, big, thick book, and it says Malleus Dias on it.
Malleus Dias.
Malleus Dias, yeah.
How do you spell that?
Or Deus, I suppose. Malleus. Second word, Deus. You recognize right away the title. You're not sure what's contained therein, but you know that it's supposed to be a book that rends order and understanding from the world. You also know that religious authorities of all organized religions consider possession of this book a capital crime.
Can it be picked up? Is it?
Yeah, it can be picked up. It's kind of thick and heavy, but you can definitely pick it up.
What about the other book?
The other book is titled Tales of the Scarecrow. It's a bit smaller.
Hmm.
On that order that he had, were there just the books? It just said books. It didn't say the titles.
Yeah, that's right. So you go to the door.
Yeah,
Pearl.
I do. When I get up, I slap that guy one more time.
Okay.
When I get back, I want some answers from you, fool.
Yeah. I want to ask the guy about these books. What are these books?
Well, first, Pearl, you go and open the door, and Friar is there.
I'll toss the rope to Pearl and say, go on, back to Pearl. And I'm going to walk over to the back of the cart and slowly pan my eyes from where the wheels have left an indent in the ground all the way to where there's now corn where we entered. And I turn and I look at Pearl and I say, does this look odd to you too?
Yeah, there's lots of odd things going on here, Friar. There's a man in there sitting on a field of corn that hasn't eaten in 5 days. There's 4 dead horses out back. Been dead for a long time. This is a spooky-ass place. I say we get the fuck out of here.
And I just look at the corn menacingly and I see like couple birds fluttering in the distance, little black dots in the sky, and I say, I don't know if we were intended to leave this place, Pearl. I think something's trying to keep us here. Dramatic pan onto the friar's face. Something's trying to kill us.
I suggest we go inside then. Gussie, you man the porch here. Make sure nothing approaches.
And I'll kick the back of the cart. Wolfgore, come on, we're going in.
Okay, so Wolfgore's going to go in with you. Gussie and Brother Paul are still out with the cart for the moment.
Yeah, Brother Paul's there, so...
As I enter the room, I say, over here, and I point to the bedroom where I had looked in the window originally. There's a dead one. No, I'm just pointing in that direction towards...
Yeah, there's 2 doors on that western kind of wall. One that obviously would lead to that bedroom in the northwest. And then there's another one which doesn't actually have an opening or closing door, but there's another one that leads into a room on the kind of southwest.
So I say, there's a fool over there. He's barely audible. Can't understand a word he's saying. And I point to the guy beside the music box. And I said, in here there's another one dead, lying on his bed, rotted away to nothing.
We'll let God deal with the dead. I'll deal with the living one now. Stand back, and I'll go over and start rolling up my sleeves, revealing like fat, liver-warded 60-year-old arms.
Okay.
Maybe a little sugar, Friar. Seemed like the salt didn't work too well.
Yeah. Don't hit him, he's weak. We want to find out about the...
He's just now kind of finishing eating and gorging himself, and he's got, remains of the food all over his face and in his beard, and water running down his dirty, filthy shirt.
Couple wilt on his face from where I slapped him.
Which actually looks like it has some blood on his shirt as well. Some old blood stains or something on there too. But
I want to try to appraise his physical condition from like a medical stance because I've done a little bit of healing with my ministry work.
Sure. Yeah, he looks malnutritioned. He looks like a man who's been without food and water for several days.
Does it look like he has wounds other than that, like beaten, battered, broken, cuts, anything like that?
No, but you see something in his eyes that you've seen before. There's a hint of madness. Like a man who's seen something that he wishes he could unsee.
Ask him what happened.
What's your recollection there, Friar? Is he going to live?
He says, all right. Thank you very much for the food and the water. My name is Richard Fox. I am an adventurer, collector of odd and bizarre items. Rather successful, too, till recent days. We were on our way home after collecting my latest bits of crypto paraphernalia. My 3 servants with me. We had some way to go, and we saw this farmhouse. We thought we'd come in and maybe purchase some supplies from the residents, but once we discovered the house was abandoned, we decided to stay the night. Well, Nicholas, he decided to go take a walk through the cornfield after realizing that the path had closed up behind us. Well, we didn't really see what happened to him, but we could hear his screams, and we saw sprays of blood above the corn. It made us realize that those fields are deadly. The horses, they didn't want to enter the fields. Then, Kingsley, after our food ran out, well, he decided to eat some of the corn. He became ill right away. He died within minutes of us bringing him in the house. Then Edward, well, he was the last one to die. He and we stayed in this house, too afraid to leave, despite having quickly gone through all of our food. Well, we didn't have that much. None of us thought we would be eating on the road. Corley, he starved to death. and I've been here myself for a while now. It's been 5 days before you guys came in since I'd had a drink of water, a bite to eat. Corley, well, he's lying in there, in that other room without the door. And Kingsley, he's on the mattress in the main bedroom. Didn't bother going looking after old Nicholas.
Well, good sir, it's your lucky day. We just happen to be passing through. We'll gladly give you a ride back to civilized lands for small fee, of course. A man of your means, being a collector of fine things, surely you could offer some form of payment for our services rendered.
What's your price?
What say you, Thatcher? What's the going price for saving a fool's life these days?
The books.
Oh yes.
Books.
Let's ask him about these books. This prized possessions. What was it valued at, Thatcher?
Spent most of my fortune to buy those books and that sword.
50,000 silver pieces. You are truly a fool.
Why? What is it about these books, Fox? What's so important about them?
Oh, I think they're very valuable. I think they're worth more than what I paid for them. I haven't had a chance to have them properly appraised, of course.
But what are they?
That when I got back to London, but
You bought them for a reason.
I think they're magical. That Malleus Dias book, well, that's a book with a legend attached to it. They say that book was in the library in Alexandria when it burned, but yet here it is.
And what about the other one? What about this Scarecrow book?
Not sure. Just looked special, and it was with the other one, so I took them both. And that sword, well, just look at the quality of it. I mean, it's exquisitely decorated, and look at all those gems laid in, and the metal. Oh, it's certainly precious, if not magical. But I bet you it's magical too.
My son, the true gems and jewels aren't in this world but the next. You have been a sinner. Have you tried praying, repenting?
I haven't had much chance to do much else the last couple of days. Maybe that's what brought you here. Maybe my prayers have been answered. Listen, I spent most of my fortune buying these, but I've still got some savings in London. If you get me out of here safely, when we get back to the city, I'll give you a 5,000 silver piece reward. If you get my friends out of here, I'll give you 1,000 silver pieces for each one of their bodies you bring back. Oh, that's a good price.
Well, we happen to have a couple mules and a cart. No. Why not just bury your friends here?
I would have
to. You, Friar, could you give final rites?
But
I'd have to at least look at the bodies before I promise anything. If they're diseased or carry some kind of ailment, I wouldn't try to take them with us in the car, obviously.
Surely their families will want to. They'll want the bodies back.
Yeah, not if they're diseased.
Hmm.
If they're diseased, their families aren't going to want them back, and we ain't going to take them.
Well, that's fine. I'll still give you the 5,000 if you get me back to London.
Okay. Well, that sounds fair. What do you think, guys?
I think it's more than generous.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking at the chat, guys. I see you posted something there, but that's about another character, I presume. Yeah, that wasn't meant to actually happen, Andrew.
That was like a long time ago at the beginning of the
Carry
Okay.
on. Though.
I'm just gonna ignore it. If it's not said out loud, I'm just gonna say it didn't happen because I didn't see the chat.
So as this conversation is going on with this fool as well, I would have started moving towards that last area of the shack that we hadn't explored.
Sure. Well, you haven't looked into either of the bedrooms really, except for the one through the window. But yeah.
Right. I'm going to go towards the other one. I know the deceased body's on the bed and the one that I looked through the window. I'm not going to
So
brush
this
in
one's a
there.
smaller bedroom. There's just like a small, kind of like a single bed. The body's not lying in the bed. The body's actually lying on the floor on the window side of the bed and covered in blankets.
He speaks the truth. There is two of his companions lay dead in here. Each of these two rooms.
I'm sorry. I'll take back what I said about that sword. The sword's actually laying on the bed here. I'm sorry. I think I said earlier it was laying on that big table. Doesn't matter. But you can see the sword there laying on the bed, and it does look exquisite. You're a specialist, yeah?
I am.
Man, just looking at the inlay and the metals and the gem work on the scabbard, it's a rapier. You'd say that thing's worth at least 5,000 silver on its own.
So
Finely
none of
crafted.
you, the individuals that I've traveled with, have not seen me. Yeah, they see me pull my rapier already. So Thatcher, had you had a sharp eye, you would have saw the rapier that I wielded, had put upon this man Fox earlier. I am going to pull this rapier from the bed and replace it in my scabbard, as if it was the prior one. It's probably got some fancy hilt and everything, so it's not going to be a very good ploy. But I just put it in there.
Trying to be sneaky about it, you swap the rapiers.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to be sneaky, but I'm just going to, put that one in my rapier shot and hold the other one in my hand. I'm going to just poke the body a few times and just to make sure there's no, obvious
Excuse me.
boils or anything that I can see upon its flesh.
Okay, so you pull it up and take a quick look.
Yeah, I start tapping it with my old rapier just to look and see if there's, like I said, any signs of disease or...
Yeah, poor old Edward, he doesn't look great. Actually, as you're looking, you can notice on his left leg, you can see a spot where his pants have been partially cut away.
Okay. Is there anything obvious going on with his leg, like a wound that needed to
Investigate a little bit and see. Yeah, he's definitely got wounds there. It looks like the pants have been partially cut open and away around the left thigh, and looks like something's been biting on him, something's been gnawing on him, and some of the flesh has been consumed.
Poor lad.
You probably would also notice he is getting a bit rank. But you probably also notice that there's a gold ring on his left hand.
Yeah, I would remove that from his finger.
He's wearing it. He's wearing a vest. You take the ring. Okay. What do you do with it?
I'm going to stick it in my jerkin pocket of my leather jacket that I have over my thin chainmail shirt.
Sure. No problem.
Well, he's doing all that. I want to take a look at that harpsichord.
Okay. Do you know how to play the harpsichord?
Oh, not the harpsichord, but the pipe organ. Absolutely. Similar concepts.
Okay. So you're going to sit down and just tap away on it?
You know what? I feel like this is a pretty evil place. I'm going to try to consecrate it a bit. So I'll sit down and I'll tap E a couple times, and if it sounds like it's in working order, I'll start playing Michael Row the Boat Ashore.
Okay.
But when I get like a couple lines into it, I'll start riffing into something that sounds like an acoustic version of Korn. All the way from me, because it's just too fucking funny. Nobody knows what it is, but it has this really ominous feeling.
Weird, yeah. Huh.
And I'm kind of knelt down at this point, examining the leg a little closer to see if I could find out what the bites and scratches are caused by. And as he hits that first note, it spooks the shit out of me, and I fall back on my butt and kind of scurry out of the room away from the dead corpse.
Okay. You're pretty sure, looking at it, that the marks look like human bite marks.
Lovely.
And so, you know, it's interesting, this harpsichord. It's in perfect condition, excellent working condition. It's worth a lot of money, too. It is finely crafted. Um, and it's strange that it's in such great condition because the rest of the farmhouse is very dilapidated. But
Fucking harpsichords.
this harpsichord is, you would say, just based on, you know, craftsmanship and whatever else, it's the most valuable thing in this house, probably. It's worth more than that fancy sword he picked up.
Yeah, I would realize that pretty quick. As I'm sitting there clicking away, this is a beauty.
Row your boat ashore.
Row, yeah, Michael, row your boat ashore. Beating me down, beating me, beating.
So what are you doing going on, Adam?
Mr. Thatcher. I bring the sword out and I just pull it out of its hilt a little bit to show you that I've retrieved it.
Nice. Yeah, that looks good. We'll get something for that. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. The Fox, what was his name?
Richard Fox, is it?
Yeah, that's it, Richard Fox. Richard kind of looks up at you when he sees the sword. He says, "Hey, that's mine."
Calm down.
Don't worry about it, Richard. You can have it back when we get you.
5,000 silver.
We've got to carry it, haven't we?
All right, well, I paid a lot of money for that, so.
Yeah. You'll get it. Don't worry.
You know
What
what?
say you,
Ian?
Friar?
I think this is the chain of events that happened before, but I'm just gonna ask. In Deathfrost Doom, Lloyd's Malleus character died, right? And then his mask passed on to a bunch of other people, and had like some rough notion of the events that transpired in Deathfrost Doom.
True, yes.
All right, I heard, and this is through these men that keep getting his mask and have these crazy religious tendencies. I heard a legend of a song that was discovered on a mountaintop. So I'll start like trying to rough plink it out how I remember it, and it's one of the fucked up Duvan Ku songs.
Okay. Yeah, which song was that?
What was the name of the guy at the end of Deathfrost Doom that you had to that he basically you go in there and you had to convince him not to destroy everything, or he like made you pledge to him.
Can't remember his name, but yeah, he was the Pontifex.
Pontifex, yeah.
Yeah, I have to look him back up, but yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like bumble my way through it, but yeah, I'm playing this weird Duvan Kuish song. I go, I think that's how it went. I heard a story once of a man that went to a mountain and he dealt with some weird magic, and they said that this was a song that was played there.
Indeed, they did. But yeah, you play it away, picking at it. Nothing strange seems to happen though, aside from just the music itself.
I think we should take this harpsichord with us.
Agreed.
Lance.
How are you going to transport it?
Gussie!
Now, wait a second. I don't want your boy trying to do that by himself. This is very valuable.
You can get it to the cart, at least, Friar.
What was the song that Lloyd's character played on the organ? It was, Bach, Toccata, and Fugue in D minor.
That's right. It was just a random thing and actually happened to be in the adventure module, right?
Yep. Yeah, in Deathfrost 2, when he played that, a skull falls from a hook and releases liquid time into the air, and everyone in the room must say versus death or age 20 years, and the referee must place his or her palm over his own face for 15 seconds.
Did you see what the Pontifex song was?
I don't remember the Pontifex's song.
Because there was like a song that plays in the area with him. I can't remember it.
Oh, is there? Okay, I'll look back. I'll find his section and see what it is. But in the meantime...
Yeah, so I'll get up and say, Pearl, Mr. Thatcher, this harpsichord is more valuable than those books and that sword combined. I would stake my reputation as a musician on it.
So, Fox, who did you find when you came wandering into this farmyard? Did you find anyone else? Any occupants?
No, it was empty.
Hmm. Who would leave such valuable things behind? Maybe they ran off into the cornfield too, like your friend. The one you didn't go find, left to die alone in the darkness.
Yeah,
It,
I'll kind of cascade my hand and say this harpsichord belongs in a nobleman's mansion or the banquet hall of royalty. What's it doing in a cabin way out here in the middle of nowhere?
I don't know.
it won't be here long. I'm
It's
with you,
there when we
Fire.
arrived.
But the mule and the cart, is that cut off now by the corn that grew up the path?
It appears so. It grew before my very eyes. Now I drank a lot. I don't know if I was imagining things, but when I follow the track of the cart back to the corn, there it is.
Yeah, but there's something not right about that corn, isn't there? Something not right about it. He said that. He's told us that already, this bloke, this foxy bloke.
Did you ask him what happened to his horses, Thatcher, while I was gone?
No, I didn't ask him about that. Shout
What
out.
happened?
Fox,
What
what
happened?
happened to your horses?
They died out there. They must have probably eaten the corn. They dropped dead after a day.
Yeah, but something pulled them close to the farmhouse. Was it you and your men?
No, no, we didn't touch the horses.
Well, who did then?
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
You must have heard something.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there in the corn. I'm not going out there. Not after what happened to Nick.
And the lad in there, the one lying up on the floor beside the window. And I point towards the room that I had just retrieved the sword from. He's
Edward.
got some, yes, Edward, is that what you call him? He's got some peculiar scratches and bite marks upon his leg. Please tell, how did that happen?
Does he? And he just kind of looks away and kind of, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. No idea. And he gets a really kind of withdrawn look in his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Fox, you know more than you're saying.
Better start talking or we're going to leave you here.
Not with my sword, you're not.
Let me
Oh.
hold on, Fox. What is
Calm
that
down.
on your head?
Hmm?
You have a head wound, and I'll start walking towards him slowly.
What?
I'll get up to him and say, "Yeah, right there." And when I lean in close, I'm gonna grab my hands and touch him and cast command on him.
Oh, okay. Excellent. What does that do now?
If he has over a 12 intelligence, he gets to try to make a save against this. If he doesn't, I get to utter a single word, and he has to do what that word implies, as long as it doesn't cause him direct harm.
Single word must make sense as a single command, such as approach, drop, fall, flee, halt, surrender, sleep. Although the target could be instructed to die, this will only make the target collapse into a comatose. Yep. Okay. Cool. So, what's the word?
So I touch him and I say, "Truth." And I put my hands up and just slowly start backing up.
What's the duration on that? It's instant, isn't it?
Let me see. I got the rules up here.
There's
Just say how long does he have to tell the truth for?
It is for. It's range 10, duration 1 round. Note that a caster must be able to speak the language of the
He
target.
says, "I've been eating him. I've been gnawing on him. I was starving. The thigh, it's soft, easy."
I grab Hammer of the God and I
And then immediately
thrust it in front of him.
he can't believe, like he just said, he puts his hands like right up over his face, and now it makes sense. You see the blood kind of stains on his shirt. And
Right.
what do you do to him, Andrew?
I said while he's yelling about the cannibalism, I take the Hammer of the God and just stick it in his face. Or I'm sorry, Malleus Deus.
Okay.
Right. This was after he was dead or before, Mr. Fox?
After, of course.
I don't know. There's lots of madness going on in this place. There's perfectly fine horses outside you could have eaten, but you choose to eat your companion. You must be really fearful of going
Told you,
outside.
the horses were poisoned or something. They died the very first day we were here.
And what are these books really about, Fox? Tell us what these books are.
Told you. I don't know. That one's got some fucked up weird horror stories in it, and the other one, well, it's written in a language I can't understand.
You wouldn't have spent a fortune on books and you didn't know what they were.
Well, I'm fairly certain that one's a tome of magic. Pointing at the Malleus Deus. But I can't make sense of what's written inside of it.
Heretical. And I'll walk over and, with it in my hand, slam it down on the table and open it up. I want to see if I can understand it.
Can you read magic?
No, I have a 3 in language, though.
I don't know if that'd allow you to read magical spells.
Do I understand the words, though?
Not really, but you probably would recognize the kind of format. It's full of spells. Tons
So
of
it's like weird diagrams and pictographs and stuff. It's not
exactly.
it's not like blocks of text. Okay.
It's, like you said, it's quite heretical.
And what about Tale of the Scarecrow? That's written in common.
All right, you gonna open it up, have a look?
Yeah, might as
Excellent.
well.
That's gonna bring us to our bio break, because what I need each of you to do, we're gonna take a 15-minute break. Tale of the Scarecrow. So, like I said, it is a creepy horror anthology, and all the stories concern evil scarecrows. What exactly happens in these stories will be determined by yourselves. So each of you have to determine in secret, no talking amongst each other, the possible powers and effects of the Scarecrow. You will then private message them to me on Facebook, please. Private message so that, the other players can't see what you've written. Whoever comes up with the most interesting effects will have their entry become the actual power of the Scarecrow, and that player will receive a major experience bonus. Well, it's a random bonus, but it can be seriously massive. Also, I will point out to you that whatever that increase comes to, in the singular, unique case of this story, you will not be restricted to the possibility of only leveling once per adventure. So if you go up 10 levels, you go up 10 levels.
That's cool. Is that built into this module, or this is something you just came up with on the fly?
No, this is the module.
That's cool.
You don't have to make the Scarecrow a monster or assign it abilities or powers itself. You could merely give it an effect on the area around it or on other people near it, etc. Also, your effects do not have to follow any established game mechanics. Any described effects that you give it cannot name a specified character or class. Okay. So, obviously, you can't write something and say, "Oh, right, this one's going to screw over Andrew's character. This one's going to screw over Troy's character, etc." You have to make it something kind of not class or character specific. So what else can I tell you? The entry which leaves the party in the worst position will probably win the experience award. So you need to weigh your desire to get experience against the disadvantages of creating a truly debilitating or horrific effect. So yeah, so I'll give you 10 or 15 minutes to work on that. I'm going to use the restroom and get a fresh drink and a snack. If you guys want to also use the toilet, get a drink or snack while you think of your story idea, and just send them to me on Facebook. Cool?
Cool. I'll be back.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So anybody who's, I suppose, watching this live, nobody is at the moment, but or if you're watching this in recording, you probably want to fast forward at least 10 minutes or so, because we'll be dead air for a bit. So I'm back anyway. Interesting little metagame mechanic, this one. But this is something I like about some of these Lamentations Adventure modules. They do these kind of weird breaking the fourth wall kind of things, you know. Yeah, if you guys are gonna send this to me on Facebook, I guess I better open my Facebook as well. Who's that? I hear you.
That's me.
That's Dave.
I'm gonna send my Facebook thought through.
I was just saying, it's an interesting little metagame mechanic, this one, isn't it?
What was that?
So this is an interesting little metagame mechanic, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool. I think I understood.
You guys each get to write a scary Scarecrow story, and whoever writes the best one gets to become real.
Now, are we writing it as a story or just giving you effects, basically?
You know, whatever you want to do. I choose the best one, so, you know, think of it as a competition. But then again, it's a competition you might not want to win. But winning it, of course, does give you a nice experience point award bonus. I think it says you're supposed to write like a little story about the effects and stuff, didn't it? So, possible powers and effects of the Scarecrow. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. Powers and effects of the Scarecrow. Cool, I got your entry, Dave.
So I'm guessing it's a while then before the new rule book comes out.
Oh yeah, it's a long way off. It's a long way off. He's just playtesting different ideas right now. I'd say we're probably looking at a couple of years.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's all right then. Good. I don't want to be spending money on new rule books yet. Not when I'm busy buying rule books for other systems. Plus, I've got 2 copies of the rule book from the Grindhouse, plus 2 copies of the hardback version of the rules as well. The last thing I want is another edition.
Oh, there you go. I sent it. Whoa, I gotta get my right mic. It is. There's a lot of typos in there because I just vomited it out, but I think you'll get the gist.
Cool. So let me just see here. Just to make sure I understand, Andrew, we can do all of those things, right?
Yeah.
All of those as options.
Yup. In my mind, he's manifested himself in all those different ways before, and he can draw upon them like a repertoire.
Cool. Got it. Cool. Let's see. Sweet. I just have to choose a winner. Okay. I've chosen a winner. But I don't have to tell you who it is until it manifests or if it comes into play. Because who knows, it may not. How long has it been anyway? I actually didn't look at the clock. Anybody know how long it's been since we called a break?
I think like 10 minutes.
Okay. Just give 2 more minutes and then we'll start again. We'll continue.
So what's your next big project, Andrew? Now that the Rome thing is finished.
I'm doing a hybrid campaign between play by post The Strange and doing sessions over Google Hangout.
Were you doing the by post through Messenger on Facebook or something different?
Facebook. Basically, it's set up so you do play-by-post most of the month, and then when it hits like a big event, we do a session for the actual big event. So it's probably about a monthly game.
Not something I've ever done.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of play-by-post. I'm doing it basically to validate my opinion of it. Also to test out if you can make it more valuable by combining it in like a hybrid.
Is it ongoing right now?
It hasn't started yet. I'm finishing up my Planescape campaign first, which keeps getting delayed.
How often would someone post, or it's completely optional?
I'd probably try to get them to post a couple times a day. I'm gonna put a limit on the amount you can post, though. Like, I don't want people giving me
freaking pages of narrative,
pseudo Shakespearean dribble or anime exposition.
Right.
I just want them to give me like like a good couple paragraphs about what they're doing. I don't want to read through bad fanfic.
You don't want 20 full minutes of Goku powering up his move or whatever?
I don't want people like externalizing all their crap. Like, they need to go over to the table and pick up a key. Oh, I remember when I was 5 and I saw a key for the first time. My daddy was using it to unlock their liquor cabinet before it beat my mom. Fucking care.
Is that what it would be?
Go over and pick up the key.
Is that what it would normally be, that kind of stuff?
Is that an Andrew Knapp memory I detect, yeah?
Is that a what?
You were 5 years old the first time you saw a key, Andrew?
Yeah, that actually happened. That was a legitimate story. Daddy, no! Not more alcohol.
Man, I watched that Dirty Laundry kind of fan film. Barker sent it to me the other day. That was the Punisher fan film because it,
yeah.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes long or whatever. And he fucking killed like a whole gang of people with nothing but a Jack Daniels bottle. You might like it, Andrew.
Is it well done?
Good.
He doesn't even break the bottle. That was the impressive part. He doesn't spill a drop of liquor. Well, no, he does in the end. But yeah, but he doesn't spill any in the process of fucking smashing people up.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive little fan film.
It's very good for a fan film.
It's
And
cool.
up until Daredevil Season 2, it was probably the best version of The Punisher as well.
Cool. So, we're ready to resume. I've got your stories in. Some very interesting stories. So what I'll tell you is I've
already forgotten mine, so it wasn't good. I hope you didn't go with mine.
I'll tell you a few real quick stories that you read in the book. I won't tell you which one won. It'll only matter if you somehow activate it. So reading through them, one of the stories talks about how this Scarecrow was built and imbued with magic as an effigy to ward off a witch in the nearby woods who would send her crows in to eat her sister's harvest. The witch was maddened by this and cursed the Scarecrow in the fields. Now crows no more, but the field would be plagued and the sister buried under the base of the Scarecrow, her spirit forever forced to cause the corn that killed her to grow everlasting. Another tells of how the Scarecrow has the power to vomit out straw, which would animate into golems. And also, it could merge the entire field of corn together into a massive corn giant golem, wielding a massive hammer made of natural energy. And yet one more story tells of how anyone who would touch the Scarecrow would release tiny spawn, within the straw to enter their skin and turn them into a Scarecrow, eventually becoming one for all time, doomed to remain in the field. So those are the stories you read in this book, and you're probably instantly left with the thought that, man, this guy paid 50,000 for these three things. Well, that's not going to help. But perhaps the other book, which none of you can read, and the sword, will make up for value. This one just seems to be kind of a cheap, trashy horror collection. So that's what you gather from the Tales of the Scarecrow. The Malleus Deus, as I said, unless any of you know read magic, you're not going to be able to make them out. They're all magic user spells, but there's a lot of them. There's probably, I think, dozens of them, in fact.
Yeah, I double checked. I can't do read magic.
Mm-hmm.
I wish.
Well, if only you had a magic user. And then, of course, there's the sword, which, like I said, the sword itself, just from craftsmanship alone, looks like it's probably worth several thousand silver pieces.
Wait, surely Gussie's a magic user.
Yeah, no.
I didn't think so.
Well, we can find plenty of magic users and sell the book for one of them.
That's right, Fox.
Well, the book belongs to Mr. Richard Fox here. Anyway, he owns both of those books and that sword, which you guys have promised to get back to him.
Yes.
So.
I'm a lady of my word.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I'll end them right here. What time of day is it? Should we be heading out then, fellows? I know we came here to hold up for the night.
It was a late afternoon when you arrived. You've probably been putzing around in here for nearly a couple of hours now at this stage, I'd say, reading through the book and all that. So it's getting into the early evening. It's dusk, we'll say.
Mm.
You want to risk staying here and ending up like this lot, looking through the...
Hear thunder in the distance.
I'll say deadly corn or little rain, Friar?
I don't want to get this harpsichord wet.
I'd rather leave the harpsichord than end up like these blokes.
I'm not sure how you plan to get the harpsichord out of the house in the first place.
We got a wagon. I think we could probably pull it, couldn't we?
What, across
No, I didn't say out of the field, out of the house.
field?
You mean like through the doorway? It's too big to get. It had to get in here somehow.
I'll just have Gussie start dismantling a wall. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a big shack. We can beat down some walls. He's got a big, oversized club.
Yeah, but then how are we going to get it through the corner?
Oh, we gotta figure out how we're gonna get through the corn with a cart.
Cross that bridge when you come to it, I guess. But yeah, you can have Gussie start dismantling the wall around the door, try and make it wider so the harpsichord can be carried through.
Sure. Get on it, Gussie. See this thing? See the size? We need a hole that matches this size. Can you manage? Can you manage?
I'd say it's probably going to take 4 of you at least to carry this thing, including Gussie.
No problem. I'll force Wolfgore.
Pearl will get on one side. She's actually quite strong as she starts to lift this thing. You see her quartered muscles rip. She wasn't always the captain of the ship. She worked her way up, slept her way to the top. Girl of many skills. So she grabs one corner, Gussie on the other after he makes a hole. You stay there, Fox. We'll return for you.
So the harpsichord's on legs, is it?
Yep, it's on legs.
Right. So we need to take the legs off really to get through the door, don't we?
And there are no wheels.
On 3, boys. 1, 2, 3.
Ow! There's a big crack of thunder, and a downpour starts outside.
Timing is impeccable.
It's almost like some sinister force wants to wet in the corn in case we got an idea to burn the whole thing down.
I know.
But I like look up at the ceiling mystically. Well, fuck.
I guess we're staying tonight.
Part of my French.
Lightning flashes a couple of times. You hear more cracks of thunder.
Gus is scared. You see him like shivering and his legs are shaking. Easy now, boy. It's okay.
Well,
you go sit in the corner.
Look right's Mr. Thatcher is right. We're not taking this harpsichord anywhere. Chalk it up as a loss. I'm ready.
Why couldn't you take the harpsichord anywhere? You can still try to take it.
Rain will fucking damage that wood to the point where it's not even valuable.
Well, yeah, that's another story.
So, now, are there any other rooms in this shack? I know we've seen the main living room and the 2 bedrooms where the deceased are.
Oh, did you go? You didn't even go into the other bedroom, ever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Where Kingsley Adams was lying. But yeah, he's just lying in the bed there. Let's see.
I'm contented to leave if you boys are.
He's lying in the bed like you saw.
Yeah, I'm ready to leave as well. I don't want to stay here a moment longer. Next thing you know, this fool will be trying to eat your leg, Friar. You got the most meat on the bone.
My eyes narrow. And what does that mean?
It means you haven't missed many meals, friend. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying you look mighty juicy.
We will talk about your insensitivity to the servants of the Lord later. We need to get out of here now because when it gets muddy, my ox out there, Queenie, doesn't do too well.
Could wait the storm out.
That sounds like famous "you're all gonna die" Ian words. I don't know about that.
Is anybody holding their breath?
I'm gonna look at Gussie and say, "What about it, Gussie? You want to take a ride in the rain?"
Yes, sir. I don't like this place. It's starting to scare me, sir. You see him? He's like shivering over in the corner, just like spooked the fuck out.
Well, you better be careful when we get out there, because that Scarecrow might get you. And the camera pans in on the window, and there's a lightning snap, and you see the Scarecrow.
Nice. All right, then. On 3, we're back to here. Count to 3. Gussie, can you count to 3 for us? You can't even start.
I'll open the door and walk out to the cart.
Okay. So what do you got? One mule pulling the cart, yeah?
An ox.
Oh, an ox, okay.
A single ox, though, not oxen, just an ox.
Do you have some kind of a tarp or some kind of like a blanket or something that you would normally cover over your goods that you were carrying that we could wrap around this harpsichord?
Not really. That's why I just say leave it.
Really?
Like, mostly what I transport's barrels of mead, so no need to...
You do have a couple of beds in this place with blankets on them, though?
Yeah. Cloth, sheets. I'm going to go check it out and see if there's anything that could be salvageable and used as like a tarp to protect this thing just before we...
There's loads of blankets in the house, man. You got one double and one single.
Are we taking the harpsichord or not taking the harpsichord? I'm confused now.
Well, he's debating. He's trying to figure out a way to take it.
Without the wood being ravaged by the rain.
No, the moisture will ruin it. It's not even worth trying.
Leave it. Leave the harpsichord.
Alright, I'll...
Everybody make a wisdom roll, please.
Wisdom roll?
Yeah, roll a d20. You want to roll equal to or under your wisdom.
I did. 11 on a 13.
What do I need? Less than?
Yeah, equal to or less than.
I failed.
I've got a wisdom of 7. Oh, I rolled a 19.
Yeah. Well, Pearl, and you're thinking, man, we gotta find a way to get this harpsichord out of here. You're thinking about it. You're like, the entire cabin is dilapidated and run down and beaten by time and the elements. This harpsichord is sitting here looking brand new. There's almost like a magical quality of the harpsichord itself that maybe you think, maybe if you you can get it out here, maybe it won't be warped by the moisture.
Yes. Didn't seem to be hurt by the elements. I think you're wrong in this, Friar. Just look around the place. It's falling down around our ears, but yet this thing seems pristine, immaculately kept.
Are you suggesting it has some otherworldly quality?
You played it. What do you think? What did your fingers tell you?
I hold up these things that look like sausages,
Nice.
and my vision kind of goes blurry as I look at them. Well, I've never played an instrument that well before. I know that.
Yes, it looks finely crafted, and it looks to be, as I said, an item of impeccable value. We must try to get it out of here.
Well,
All right, let's do it then.
make a good point. Let's do it.
I go in and unceremoniously throw the body, or kind of grab the sheet from the bed and yank it to the point where I roll the body off onto the floor of the deceased individual.
And Richard Fox goes, "What are you doing?" And he charges you. Roll initiative.
You stupid fool, you're gonna die. Alright, so he's gonna tackle me on the bed. That's never happened to Pearl before.
Actually, no, he's going to try to shank you with his knife he's pulled.
Alright, so it's a D6 for initiative in this one, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so I got 6 total. I'm gonna write it in the chat. Are you good?
No, it's good. He's on 6 as well. So we'll just go the two of us, since the other two probably will be kind of like flabbergasted as to what's going on for the first round. We'll call this a surprise round. But you're not surprised because he's attacking you. So you go simultaneously. He tries to stab you with the knife. Jeez, that's like an 8. I take it he missed.
Yeah, definitely missed.
And what are you doing?
I got this blanket in my hand. I'm gonna wrap it around his head, like throw it over his head to kind of like ghost him, like blind him with this blanket.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay, I rolled. You gonna give me any attack bonus? Just the base?
Well, just whatever attack bonus you get for your character, yeah.
Alright, so this is a melee attack. Okay, so that's 17 to hit. So I'm trying to wrap this blanket over him and kind of wrap it up. Kind of like entwine him in this blanket.
Oh yeah, you get the bucket thrown right up over him.
Alright, then I'm going to kick him in the buttocks up against the wall.
Okay, and he's going to try to slash his way out of this blanket. Roll initiative. Everybody can roll initiative now. What do you guys see what's going on?
You see this guy charge me sidestep him, and then throw the blanket over his head.
Like a bullfighter.
Yeah. Those Spanish. I learned a lot when I was fighting those Spanish in my privateer days. Sinking their frigates.
So you're on 4 now, Troy?
That's correct.
Andrew, you're on 6. What are you on, Dave?
6 also.
Okay, so Dave and Troy, you guys go simultaneously? No, Dave and Andrew, sorry.
Well, I've got my sword out, and I'm going to just stab him.
Okay.
How big is this room now? Small little bedroom.
This room's tiny.
With a bed and a dead body and the two of us.
It's about 10 feet by 10 feet.
Big enough.
Right. So, yeah, he should be at disadvantage, I imagine, being that he's still in this blanket, yes?
Oh, he's got a problem, so. But he's not doing anything, as Dave and Andrew get to go first. So, Dave, go ahead and roll your attack.
16.
Oh, damage?
Damage is D8. So, 3.
3. He drops like a sack of shit. You stab him and he goes down in a heap.
Blood seeps
Bleeding.
through the blanket
Mm-hmm.
onto the floor.
He drops the knife. His hand goes limp.
Fool.
Oh, I dropped down, panicked. Son, don't go into the light. Don't go into the light, son. And then I look over at Pearl, because it's fire.
Burn.
Man's a cannibal.
Burn, baby, burn.
We'll just throw him in the back. Come on. Help me
Let him
carry.
bleed out.
Yeah.
So you take the blankets and the sheets and everything else, yeah. Throw over the harpsichord.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's not really necessary, but we're going to do it anyway.
And you guys can carry it out, trying to load it up onto the cart.
Yeah.
It's tough, but you can get it up there.
That about Gussie. Lift it.
In
Good
fact,
lad.
the amount of time it
Get-
takes, by the time you get there, the rain's let up a little bit. It's still thundering in the distance, but the storm's let up. It's a little bit lighter than it was. It's no longer a downpour. Ground is pretty muddy, but
What were you saying about this growth of this corn, sir? Mr. Fryer, sir?
Well, it seemed to sprout up and close us in like it was trying to trap us, but I can see, looking down on the ground where the wagon trail is, if we go pretty slow, we can probably try to follow it back out.
okay. That's your plan to go back out the way you came in.
That would be my inclination.
Mm.
Seems like a sensible plan. Okay. So, let me see
So
what this
let's confirm before we carry on. Mr. Thatcher, you have the 2 books. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I've got them.
Very
You
good,
got
very
right,
well.
yeah.
Ah, I do. Look at it. It's a beautifully finely crafted sword. Mr. Fox would have got a closer view of it if you not acted so fast, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful for your services.
My pleasure. He was just a nutcase, wasn't
Yeah. I should have slapped him around a few more times before you stuck your sword in him.
he? He was crazy with that dagger, though, so he might have done some damage.
Yes, you're trying to eat his friend, so I wasn't too keen on bringing him along.
No. He's just
What kind of man would lie to a holy man?
same kind that would eat his friends.
Mm.
Good riddance. Let's get out of this place as well.
Mm.
Where's the closest? I'm not familiar with these lands, Mr. Fryer, sir. Where's the closest community? Where's the closest township, city, even?
Let's see.
proper city, probably London.
He did want us to take him to London. I've always wanted to see the capital.
Yeah, and we'll get more money for this lot there as well.
And surely it's probably changed quite a bit since the last time you all seen with the Witch Queen and all.
Yeah, but they still do business, though, don't they?
They do.
Oh, I hope so.
All right, well, I will grab the reins and say, "To London! Yeah!" And I'll crack them, and then the ox will start going at about half a mile per hour.
What do you think the normal speed per round for the ox would be?
I don't know.
Would it be about half your normal walking speed, equal to your normal walking speed, considering it's pulling the harpsichord on the wagon, on the cart?
I would guess that a beast pulling something like that wouldn't make very good time out in a field.
I would have
Especially
Gussie.
now with
Gussie would be.
Forget about the field. I can
pushed
figure out
behind.
the modification for the field, but just its normal speed. Would it be about equal to your walking speed?
I don't have experience with oxes, man. I
I
couldn't
would
tell
say
you.
it's just keep it simple. So let's say it could move normally about 40 feet per round.
They're pretty trotting.
Now, having said that, it's got to move through this corn. It's going to move about 10 feet per round.
Get back
You
and push,
are,
Gussie.
Oh, you're breaking up on me, Troy. What did you say?
I'm just telling Gussie to get back in the back of the cart and push to help this poor beast of burden along.
Okay. I'm going to say you guys can move about 10 feet per round. It's going to take you 20 rounds to get to the edge of the cornfield from the time you enter the cornfield. Okay?
Yep,
Now-
sounds good.
We'll just say there's 3 of you, because we'll go through main characters before we start dealing with the hirelings. Or do you want me to include the ox as well and make it 4?
Definitely include the ox because we've had that make a big difference in the past.
Okay.
That's right.
So as soon as you guys kind of push into the cornfield, Ground rumbles a little bit beneath you. I need everyone to roll initiative.
One a Reno.
Is that a 5 and a 2 for you guys?
That's correct.
Okay, Troy, you got initiative. What are you going to do?
I feel the ground rumbling underneath me.
Uh-huh.
I'm walking beside Gussie, who's pushing the cart in the back. He's still staring at that scarecrow. I pull my rapier, and I go down to my knee and put my hand on the ground to see if I could feel anything burrowing underneath, just to try to get a better sense of what exactly is happening.
It does feel like there's something moving beneath the earth, yes.
Something approaches from below, boys.
Is that it?
I'm going to jump up onto the back of the cart if I can.
Okay, so you jump up onto the back of the cart. That's great.
Fryer, are you like sitting in the front like man in the ox?
Yeah, I've got some reins and a switch.
I was in the back, so I jump up on the back end of the cart, and Gussie's still there.
You guys weren't on the cart, were you? I mean, he's already pulling this harpsichord. You're not adding more weight to it.
I'm probably the only person, I would think.
Okay.
And now myself as well. But just until I get a sense of what this thing is that's underground.
Mm-hmm.
Watch your feet there, Gussie. There's something. Look down, boys. There's something coming.
Okay. So a tentacle rips up out of the ground and makes an attack at Pearl. And this thing's massive as it comes up like worm-like and swirling around. Looks like it's probably up to like maybe 100 feet long. Lashes out at Pearl. That's a natural 20.
It's unfortunate.
Now let me look at my natural 20 chart here real quick. No, not that one. I need green double face 5, natural 20s. Okay, roll my 30-sided die. Got 11. Okay, cool. So it lashes out at you and hits you for 2 points of damage, Pearl. Right
Okay.
in the skin on your face, lashes you across the cheek. Slap, and it pulls right back underground immediately. At which point in time it's then Adam's turn.
So you were walking alongside the cart, I imagine, Adam.
Yeah, that's right, with the books.
So yeah, this tentacle just smashed up and whacked me across the face, put me back in my ass in the backside of the cart. Coming up and my back hitting up against yours, Mr. Fryer, as you're riding along. You look down and you see this trickle of blood trickling from my eye down across my nose onto my chin.
Take the reins, Pearl.
I'm kind of like dumbfounded by what just happened. Rubbing the blood out of my eye.
Okay. Next round. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh wait, did I get to go?
Sure.
Nope.
What are you gonna do?
I want to throw the reins to Pearl and start moving on the cart over to the harpsichord.
Nice.
Okay.
Play some getaway music.
Exactly. I want to get in a place to where I can use it.
Okay.
So I grabbed them as he rolls them over to me.
Okay, so you get your spot up in the seat, no problem. Davis, he rolled a 4 on initiative. What'd you guys get?
Oh,
Ooh,
I got a
7.
5. I got a 7 this time.
Okay, you can't go above 6, but that's
Dave
fine.
did for
6
last
is good.
time though.
Actually, I got a +1 with initiative, so that's 5.
Okay. So you're first there, Pearl.
Push, Gussie! Push like you've never pushed before. And I start doing a yeah on this oxen to try to get him to go faster.
Okay, Andrew?
I'm going to try to confuse it, and I'm going to pull back the blanket and reveal the fine ivory. And my hands go in, and I'm going to start playing something that sounds like an old school version of the Indiana Jones theme. Da 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 da, da 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 da.
Okay, let's see here. You're in a stressful situation, so this is going to call for some kind of a roll. What kind of role, guys, do you think would be fair for him to make to play this harpsichord in the rain, being attacked by some kind of crazy tentacle monster under the field, on the back of a moving cart?
It's kind of like a composite of things.
I'm thinking dexterity.
Okay. Ooh, I got a crit success actually.
You rolled a
Bam.
1?
1.
Nice. So he starts playing this tune. And then it's your turn, Dave.
Nothing that we do is going to speed this ox up.
No.
And so we're just,
Unless you can somehow get rid of the corn.
let's just leg it out of the corn.
Right.
I leave the ox and everything behind.
Well, the ox is going to keep going anyway, because if there's something
Thank you.
nasty underneath,
No, you're going to be moving the same speed as the ox anyway.
the ox is going to run from. If there's something nasty underneath, the ox is going to run from it.
Yeah. But like I said, you're moving the same speed as the ox would be moving anyway. So.
Yeah. So let's leg it.
Okay. No problem.
What's that?
No problem. So you start moving, and you're keeping pace anyway with the ox at the end of the day because the corn's impeding you as well.
Yeah.
It's thick.
So
Okay.
we had 20 rounds. We're on. That was the end of the 18.
Next round, round 3.
Okay.
You gonna keep playing the harpsichord? What's your plan now?
Yeah, my plan would be to keep playing the harpsichord.
Okay. So he continues to play the harpsichord. What are you guys doing?
I'm still at the reins of the ox. Trying my best to encourage this thing to go as fast as possible.
Okay. No problem. And what about yourself, Dave? You're still trying to push through the corn?
Yeah.
Keep the cart? Okay. Next round.
This is like the slowest chase scene ever. I could just envision it.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. +1, so that's 7 actually, so not 6.
Any change in tactics, gentlemen?
No, this seems to be working. I'm good.
No, I'm gonna keep playing the music, and I'll even yell at Gus, say, "Come on, Gus, to sing along. You know the words, even though there's no words."
If you continue to do so for the full 20 rounds it takes you to get to the edge of the cornfield, you'll make it all the way to the edge of the cornfield without any more tentacle attacks.
I call that a success.
Because seemingly the harpsichord soothes the beast or whatever it is, and it doesn't attack as long as the harpsichord music is being played.
Wow.
So once you get to the edge of the cornfield, you see the road up ahead of you. You've got like a short little, maybe 50-foot jaunt, and then you have to turn right or left, right towards London, left back the way you came. But as you do so, you hear a huge furor of sound behind you. And as you look back, you see the cornfield itself is all of a sudden just in a whirlwind, like it was just all of a sudden completely swept up in a tornado. Cornfield, farmhouse and all. It begins swirling around in this massive, like 400-foot tall shape that you can't quite make out. What do you want to do when you get to the road? You're driving, Troy.
Go north towards London. Go to the big city, boys.
You're going to pick up speed?
Yeah.
Well,
Now that you're breaking free of the corn?
most
Okay.
definitely.
I'm going to do a dexterity check, Friar, to not fall off. As this thing suddenly picks up speed and starts to turn.
Got Zach there. He'll catch you.
Actually, in fairness, well, that's okay. We'll go with dexterity roll for now.
It's a success of 3.
Okay, cool. Actually, should probably have been a paralyzed save, but that's fine. We'll keep it at that. So you go. You're still sitting there at the harpsichord as this thing shapes into this giant, massive corn golem.
As I see it materializing over my shoulder, I stop and I start playing the Jaws theme. Dun-dun, dun-dun.
And it lashes out with an arm and shoots a bolt of lightning at the Friar Jasper. Bolt of lightning, we'll call it this damage. Here we go. That's a 14.
14 damage.
14 to hit.
Oh, 14 to hit. That misses.
Okay. So it shoots at you, and the lightning crackles and hits the harpsichord, and it becomes like electrified in front of you. And this thing starts kind of running behind you, or moving behind you, kind of like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. This massive swirling corn golem-like thing with seemingly like it looks almost like it's holding a mace made of lightning and tornadoes.
Pearl, get us behind a hill, for God's sake.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to see if there's somewhere we could find some leeway, somewhere to hide from this thing.
I tell you what, I'm gonna make
It's a big open road, is it?
Mm-hmm. What was that?
How do I want to do this? For you trying to flee this thing driving the cart while it's trying to give pursuit. So you're going to have to make some kind of a roll as the driver to get away from it. And I'm going to say you need 4 successes to escape it.
Okay.
So
You want like an attribute or one of the common activity skills here?
I think it's going to be an attribute to give you a better chance.
Alright, I got pretty good. What do you want to go with?
Driving, we're going to call it intelligence.
That's my
Good
lowest
thing-
one.
It's a good thing Gussie's not driving.
Gussie's is as intelligent as Pearl, actually.
Oh, no.
Pretty
Okay.
similar. He's just uneducated.
So-
Here we go. He's smart enough to pretend to be stupid. Alright, so I can roll under. I rolled easily under. 2 on a 9.
Nice. Okay, then fine. So you're pulling away. You got 1 success. Next round, it makes another swing with its lightning rod mace thing. And this time the shot is going once again at the friar. He really likes the friar.
Oh yeah, he's playing the harpsichord. I guess you stop now that it's electrified.
That's a 24. So that's going to hit. You get hit with this lightning bolt for 4 points of damage.
4.
Mm-hmm.
It strikes me, and the little sideburns I have because I'm bald just flame and go up in a poof, and I reverberate off the back of the harpsichord, but manage to keep my feet.
Oh, okay. Good. That's
I wrote you want me to roll again now for the ongoing chase? I passed 6 on a 9.
2 successes. So you're pulling away. You're pulling away from it.
Hold on there, Fry. We'll get you out of here.
However, it takes another shot, and this one goes at Adam Thatcher.
No,
But
which
it's
side
only
of the
a
card is he
7.
on?
It's only a 7 to hit, so I think it misses.
Yeah, it misses me.
Alright, I failed that one.
Okay, next round. It maintains its distance from you. The next attack is also at Thatcher, and this time I rolled a 10.
Which is also a miss.
Okay, give me another.
Failed again, so we're at 2 and 2 right now.
So he's keeping pace with you. Boom, boom. It's like it's getting faster.
You stupid ox! Not listening to me, Friar.
Next attack goes at Gussie.
Yeah, Gussie's in the back pushing, so he's
So
fully exposed.
Gussie, I got a 22 to hit,
Oh, that's a hit on poor Gussie.
and it hits it for 9 points of damage.
Gussie down! You get left behind in a mud pile. Puddle of mud.
Okay, so there's now only 5 of you left, correct? Yeah.
Gussie, no! No, Gussie! And
Got
Pearl
it.
starts getting out of the driving seat and starts coming back where you are, Friar, letting go of the rein.
Nobody's driving,
I'll
Not at the moment.
I'll try to jump in and take control.
so nobody gets to make a driving check this round. The golem makes another attack. This one is at Brother Paul, who's had little to do the entire session. It's a 15 to hit you, Brother Paul.
Ah, which is this on a melee or ranged? Either way, it's a miss.
It would be ranged, yeah. Okay. Grand. So then, you took the reins, was that right, Friar?
Yes.
Roll an intelligence check, please.
Come on, Queens, pick up the pace. Yeah!
We're at 2 and 2.
Ooh, I succeed by 14.
Nice.
Wow. Jesus, what's your intelligence?
17.
Wow. Okay, it's 3 successes. It's getting a little bit further behind. It makes another attack.
Can I throw a dagger or something at it as well? I just need to kill my
it's too
best
far
friend.
away.
Okay,
You can throw a dagger, but you won't be able to hit it from this range.
fair enough. I'm just sitting back there weeping about my lost Gussie.
That's another attack at Brother Paul, and it's going to miss again because that's a 13.
Miss.
Friar, go ahead and roll another skill check, another intelligence check.
Come on,
Who's
Queens,
the
come on, pick it up.
17 intelligence?
Oh, I got another crit success, man.
Nice.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
over that hill.
You're going to leave it behind. You tear out of there. And you get away from the giant cornfield golem chasing after you. Yeah. And you're gonna escape. So do you want to describe any of that, Andrew, as you pull away into the stormy night?
Yeah, it's like the wagon picks up on 2 wheels as we just careen around a corner, like errant pieces of corn rolling out of the back of it on the ground. And the camera slowly pans down. There's a lightning strike in the background. And you see like the wide eye of Gussie with his mouth open as he's drooling in mud, and a stream of blood runs off of the side of his head.
Wow. Nice. Now, I've got to determine experience points based on your treasure and all. Let me just see how much those books were worth. Well, technically, yeah, no, we'll just leave it as it is anyway. That's fine.
Poor Gussie. Didn't even know you.
Okay. So how many characters survived? There's 5 of them, yeah?
That's correct.
Now I got to roll to figure out, because you won the challenge, Andrew, obviously with the cornfield golem fighting you with the power of the storm itself. Roll d6 for me, Andrew.
Okay, here we go. Got a 1.
Ooh, roll percentile dice for me, please.
58.
Okay, so you get an extra 58% XP, which I'll tell you what that comes to in a second. So everybody else gets 4,000 experience points that survived. Not Gussie, of course.
What does that mean for level 1 character typically?
I don't remember. I think it's 2,500 to get to level 2, though.
Cool.
1,500 for a specialist, isn't it?
Oh, it might be. That's right. It is different per class, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andrew, the Friar gets 6,320 experience points.
Nice. Well deserved.
Now,
Mozart.
does that second bit work differently than the normal? Because you said something about it going past level cap.
Yeah, for the purposes of this adventure, you are not restricted to only 1 level per session, which normally you would be.
All right,
That's
so it's
everyone or just the...
Sorry, it was 6,290?
6,320.
320. Okay.
Traditionally speaking, you can never go beyond halfway to the next level after the you know what I
that
mean?
you just gained.
Right.
So because he won the competition thing, he's the only one that's allowed to go beyond that level cap, or everyone that participated?
Just the Friar.
Oh, okay. So I'm at 2.5 then.
You're at 2,500 for
3,000 to go to level 3, but I can't get level 3 because
No,
I
you
can
can't go
only
beyond
gain
2,250.
1,500.
2,250 is the maximum any of the specialists can get to. So that makes you level 2 halfway to level 3.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's where you'd cap off. Who else survived there? There's a couple. No, there's one fighter and one cleric. Yeah. So the surviving fighter will go up to. Oh yeah, you got 2,000 XP. No, it's 4,000, right? So he gets 3,000. So write down 3,000, and he's at level 2. And cleric. Second here, so I can find cleric.
1750 for level 2.
Okay, well, what is it for level 3? That's the most important thing, the halfway point between the two. 1750 to 3,500, so what's half of 1750? Divided by 2 plus 1,750, so the cleric should be at 2,625 XP and be level 2.
2,600 and what?
2,625.
And level 2.
But the good friar, like I said, was at what, 6,320?
Yeah, it puts me just above level 3.5.
Let's go to level 4, really.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's as high as any character's ever gotten.
What was it on my specialist?
Specialist would be at 2,250.
2,250.
Correct.
Man, I'm glad you
Level
made
2.
us take that, Lloyd, or Troy, the harpsichord.
Level
Yeah.
2, is that?
Yes, it is.
Okay then.
Everybody
So
level 2 is
15.
level 3.
Was the tentacle monster a part of the base module, or just something you combined with the golem creature?
No, the tentacle creature is part of the thing. The golem creature was created by Andrew in his
Yeah,
story.
yes. But the tentacle thing and the harpsichord was all built into the module.
Yep,
That's
right
awesome.
by the book.
It's good that you decided to play it, man. Get away music.
I was just being trollish, too.
I know.
It saved our lives, moral of the story.
It's good. That's why I asked you earlier too. Like, do you actually know how to play it? You said you knew how to play the organ. So, because if it's being played by an unskilled musician, the creature rages and then it gets a D4 attacks per round instead of 1.
No.
Oh, shit.
I'm glad I didn't take over when you were shot the first time.
But by the time you guys were through the cornfield anyway, so yeah. So that's Tales of Scarecrow, guys.
So what is that? That's just a little individual module, or is
Yeah,
it
it's a little 8-page booklet.
cool?
Just basically
Nice.
a little farmhouse encounter. Oh, you can also write down, what did you guys do with the books in the end? Because that guy's gone.
Yeah, I still got the rapier.
So you've got the rapier. You could write this down for your character. You have...
I've got Nalus Deus.
Just write it down anyway as Magical Rapier Tales of Scarecrow.
Yeah.
You'll give me further details later.
Yeah.
Because if it's magical, I might not want to sell it, fellas. But you could force me to force my hand into that, I guess.
And Dave, you got the Malleus Deus.
Yeah.
Excellent. Also, just put a little footnote there, just say it came from Tales of Scarecrow, just in case I ever have to look it back up, in case you ever find somebody who can actually read the spells and things.
Or sell it.
Or you could try this out, indeed, yeah.
I mean, not a magician, so not really much use.
Hmm.
And it's not the item that Brother Paul is looking for.
Yeah, I don't know, is it?
It's not, no.
No, it's not. Sorry, that's your character, duh. Yeah, so, no, it's not. Okay.
I'm sitting on 2 silver pieces, so I might want to sell this rapier.
Yeah.
might want to eat. This corn was looking mighty fine.
Yeah, there was all kinds of bad things could happen if you tried to eat the corn, if you tried to drink the water from the water pump.
Yeah.
There's some bad things could happen.
I thought about telling Gussie to go over and pull himself up a drink, but I was like, I better not. It's Troy's hireling.
Oh, good. He would have went along. He died in the end anyway. Poor Gussie.
Adam Thatcher's only got 3 silver pieces, so he needs to sell that book.
Yeah, definitely. Off to London then. London town.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast there. Everyone want to say anything else about the adventure before I close it off?
Good times, man.
Excellent.
It was nice to blindly stumble upon the correct path for once.
Right. Doesn't happen often.
Excellent. Very good. Congratulations. 6 characters went in and 5 came out, so that wasn't too bad. All things considered.
Excellent.
Poor Gutsy only died in the final chase. So.
I have a feeling trying to go through that corn on foot without playing the harpsichord would have been the most bleak, devastating butchery.
Yeah, it would take me the same amount of time to get through.
That was a good call playing the harpsichord.
Reggie really likes using instruments in his games, doesn't he?
It's come up a couple of times, hasn't it? There's the harpsichord here in this one. There's a couple instruments. There's a harpsichord, like a haunted harpsichord in Death Frost Doom, plus the organ. Are there any other ones that have come up? Those are the ones that stick out to me off the top of my head. But
Man, he should have written in there something special that happens if you play a corn song. I was like, what? I was like, come on.
No.
I suppose I could have improvised something, but yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for playing. I'm going to end the broadcast then.
That's cool.